Hey everybody, welcome to Dizastr News. I'm your host, Papadizastr. Today is Monday, January 17th, 2022. What a new. If you tuned in yesterday, you got to see the video of me introduce my wife, Ju. She does have epilepsy, and we started to talk about the year that we've had and the road that we've traveled to understand each other. Myself, I really did not know that much about epilepsy, and I had to learn real quick. And not only did I have to learn real quick, I had to learn real quick. She had to learn real quick, and we had to learn together to communicate. And it was interesting. And the communication's what got us to here today. And honesty, trust, and communication. You got to communicate. I want to talk about Thomas DeLauer. Last night, Ju and I had discussed how to go about this, and she will be doing the I feel off today, and this is what I'm going to try. Some things work faster than others. The lion's mane and ginkgo biloba, green tea, and again, she'll be posting that, and it should be helpful. And from my side, I will be talking about the history of it, where it came from, maybe, how the sun affects when you see these patterns. Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers, Disaster Prediction app. I could not recommend or tell you anything more than you need to get that. It's $6, $7, something like that. And I have used it for a year now. I've had it before that, but I used it for a year now with the epilepsy episodes. And they match up. This stuff matches up. Days where the epileptic stare, a stare seizure. And I'm going to keep doing this. I'm a layman. So if I can teach anything to myself and speak what I taught myself out loud, and it helps anyone, then I'll keep bumbling through this just fine. Just keep hitting like, subscribe. Just kidding, I did that for you, Ju. But this thing right here, it causes a lot of problems. And right now we're in a minor plasma, CME, it was minor. The solar wind is got a little amped up. Now with that, that's where we've noticed that Ju, for us though, the planetary field is failing, and that's why these things are getting stronger. The Earth's core has a rapid variations in the magnetic field. We're going to get the book and we're going to learn that together. This comes in a 1,500 year, 6,000, 12,000 year cycle. Now, this is 12,000 years ago, roughly, depending on who you're talking to. And if you listen to more than one, you're going to have a better result or a better understanding of what's happening. But 12,000, I'll go 12,500 years ago to 11,500 years ago, some stuff went down. I don't care what you think, some stuff went down. And we know that because we dug down and we see it. And we've got people with minds that look at things on large scale and small scale and go, that's not a coincidence. Whatever did this at this small scale sure probably did that at a larger scale. What could have caused that? And then diving into it and seeing like, we're finding it. We're finding all these connections, but you're just not getting it out there because another story, another day. There's minor space there. There's going to be a warm up. I'm telling you, I had not looked. I just knew it was supposed to be cold here and warmer the other day. And we got a little bit warmer, but now we got cold. And it's going to warm up when the stream hits. It'll warm up. These minor, the solar wind gets amped, and it's minor for most, but becomes major for everybody when these things hit 40 to 100 times. When's it going to do it? I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that there's a cycle that we see, and it does it, and that's why nobody's going to know the time, place, or day. And I'm cool with that, but I'm not cool with everybody going and thinking that you're the reason, your carbon footprint's the reason that you're getting taxed more. You're the reason for all this. It's just they point the fingers at us, and then they say that you're mad at them and you're mad at them, and just don't be mad at us. Where's your money? And that drives me crazy. So for today, we're in the cycle. We're in the cycle of a perfect storm. Because I know things I'm finding now, 1,500 years ago, something went down. Something went down. And it was enough to give warning. And then you follow the drops. You follow in the drops, the patterns of the solar minimum, solar maximums. What happens in those time frames? And I'll show this. I'll show what's happening in those time frames in the past and going into our future. There's some big things coming up that your major networks are talking about. They'll tell you about it. They'll say it's there, and then that's it. That's it for the mass, because they go right back to the 24-hour news cycle of, hey, do I need to remind you again that you're supposed to be hating them? Don't you dare change that channel, because they'll tell you to hate us, and we don't want that now, do we? It is what it is. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. This has been Papadizastr. Oh, one quick thing. So I got a map sent to me. I'm going to sort it out. But in these areas, these darker areas where the ionosphere is bulking up, it's spreading out. It's no longer down by the equator. These are facts. And it's not because you drove your car today. No. And 10 years ago, you should have stopped driving your car on like Pluto or Saturn or Jupiter, because they were going through some climate changes as well. Unless they got the idea from their governments and Venus said, hey, you know you can make money off these fools. Just tell them it's their fault. Choice today was some coconut. We have been using turmeric and cinnamon, apple cider. But the extra boost today is going to be coconut butter. And that's what we'll learn later on, is if it helped. I hope today was helpful and that we shared a little bit. I'm going to do a couple more, and because it's freezing out today. It's supposed to be warmer tomorrow. And that's it for today. Thank you for coming back to Dizastr News. I thank you for coming back to Dizastr News and watching, and thank you for your comments. I know Ju and I greatly appreciate it. This is not a, I want to tell you about this horrible year. It's not like that. I've been dumbfounded. I was dumbfounded, and when I don't understand something, I won't talk. I have nothing to say, because there's way too much out there, and you've got to sort it all out. And there's way too many people out there just love to hear the sound of their own voice. Safe travels, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.